Well, howdy there, Internet people. It's Belle again. And today we're going to have a little Christmas Q&A for those who just might want something a little more lighthearted today. And so today you're going to hear from me, Dana, and Dee. You go all out for Halloween. Do you decorate a lot for Christmas? I definitely decorate for Christmas. It's nowhere near what I do for Halloween, but I do decorate. When you talked about the fundraiser, you said it was your first time out front. So you were involved in the channel before you showed up on screen. How long? Yes. For me, it was since before the channel existed. Dee has been here for years as well. There's actually a lot of behind the scenes stuff. And when you look at advice that was given to people over the years about how to start a YouTube channel, it was always get people to help with everything except content. Bo always did content, but there were a lot of us that took care of everything else behind the scenes. When it comes to like the charity stuff, there's a lot of paperwork stuff, there's ordering stuff, there is shipping stuff, there's transport, just a lot of different things go into it. And even on a daily basis, there's soundboarding ideas, there's maybe helping collect a little bit of research, but whatever the content is, that's that person's. But everybody contributes. So, but behind the scenes, there's a lot that happens. And I highly recommend if you want to go watch some other stuff today, there's videos of what we've done in the past with the fundraisers and how stuff gets taken care of that shows some of that behind the scenes stuff too. You'll just have to kind of dig back through the archives. How do you tell your children about Santa Claus? When your children are ready to learn about Santa Claus, they normally let you know. Dear Internet Mom, I've heard so much about your marriage over the years, and I've really listened to the advice you gave about dating and about finding the one. The thing that resonated the most was having the same core values. So here's the problem. I've met a couple of men who have the same core values I have. I have zero attraction to them. Not even enough to let it grow over time. It's just not there. What do I do? Well, that really needs to be there also. Eventually, you're going to find somebody that has both. Don't settle on that. That physical attraction and chemistry definitely needs to be there. You said a lot about civic engagement in that video about the missing congressperson. What does that even mean? Well, there will be an explainer video down below. Since the beginning of our nation, rich people have always been able to talk poor people into fighting for them. How do they do that? Today, Musk and Trump have poor people arguing for them, saying how great they are because they're rich. They know they're never going to be rich, but people without means worship them as if they'll somehow be blessed in the afterlife for doing so. Why do people keep falling for it? Do they though? Do they really know that social mobility between classes isn't really a thing? Most people don't see themselves as poor. They see themselves as temporarily embarrassed billionaires. They also tend to fall for great man theory and believe that self-made myths about rich people. Do you realize you offhandedly said the CIA gave you numbers on Panama's military expenditures? The CIA has a lot of open source intelligence products. One that is incredibly useful is called the World Fact Book. It's available free online. Hiya, Miss Bell. I really hope you're doing the Q&A episode on Christmas per channel tradition. My roommate is trans. She's been completely disowned by her family. She's coming with me to my parents' house for Christmas. But we listen to you pretty often, and we're hoping you could just put a message out reminding everybody that family is more than just blood. You can choose your family too. It's true. Your family is who you make it. Tell us a cute Christmas memory. Oh, okay. This was not too long ago. But my kids, they're all little, they're younger, and we were all out shopping, and we're a large family. So when everybody goes out, that's a lot. It's a lot of focus. So we gave everybody a set amount of money, and we kind of split up in pairs. And with that set amount of money, you couldn't buy something for yourself. You had to buy it for someone else. And then we all met back at a specific time and we checked out. So when we went home and we were going to wrap all the stuff, so I had all the stuff we got, I had each kid, and they came up kind of one at a time, and we worked together. So it was some one-on-one time, which was always fun. And they explained to me why they got what they got for each sibling or dad or whomever. And it was just the most wonderful thing, because it brought back true meaning of it's the thought that matters, because you don't even have to do this at somewhere, fancy, expensive. You could do this at the Dollar Tree and give them $5 and they've got to buy 4 things. And the amount of thought and care that goes into them doing this, because that's a huge thing when they're learning about money and they're trying. And it was just a beautiful experience to see how much thought they put into each other. And I'll never forget it. And in fact, it's an experiment I hope to do. I say experiment, but it's kind of an exercise I'd like to continue to do at different stages in their lives to see how it changes or they react. But when they're little and bless them so much, they just think they're deep thinkers, and they put a lot into what they could give their siblings. And it still warms my heart to think about it. So that's a really good Christmas memory for me. So if I have this right, you're like the bearded guy was with foreign policy, with economics. You haven't been doing this long, and you've already made a couple of weird calls ahead of time that were right. Is there like some club for people with freakishly analytical minds? Yes, there is, and we even have a secret handshake. Everybody has a talent. You just have to find out what yours is and what interests you. Usually it's a topic that just interests you, and then you just keep digging, but in a healthy way. I had an idea at the end of Trump's last term that I think would work, but I'm not an economist. Some localities have local currency, example Ithaca, New York, which is supposed to keep more profits local. Wouldn't this let localities issue their own stimulus package if and when Trump crashes the economy? Can I start nagging my local government to make a local currency so we can do this in a few years and alleviate misery? Or is there something I don't know that would mean this is a really bad idea and would hurt more people? So the Ithaca hour is pegged to the dollar. Well, I guess it's pegged to $10. But either way, it's only used within the local community. These currencies aren't real money. Their real purpose is to encourage spending among local businesses. Really, it's a barter script for the most part. If the economy gets that bad, and it's that widespread, we're in a really bad way. I would not focus so much on this or trying to get your local government agencies involved. I would work on building your community network, building the community stronger. That's what's going to help get through something if it gets to that extent. People helping people. Okay, so now I am going to hand you off to your next host.
Well, howdy there, Internet people. It's Dana from Research Road, and I'm just stopping by to help out with the holiday special and say hello. I feel bad because I answered most of my Christmas-related questions on Tuesday, but I still have a few that might be fun.
How does being so grounded by science affect your view of holidays like Christmas?
I'm grounded by science. I'm also human, and we are social creatures. Most cultures throughout history have feasts and celebrations. A lot of those line up with certain times of the year, like hypothetically speaking, the winter solstice. I don't think it's weird or bad. With as disconnected as we're becoming as a species, I think it might be better if we had more celebrations that encourage human connection and interaction.
How does it feel to know that people have developed a crush on you without ever hearing you or seeing you?
Well, I feel like it's completely understandable. I make a pretty cute comic book character.
Did you know there's multiple rumors about why you use text-to-speech? If you don't know, you're either someone with a disability or you're trans.
Why does it have to be either or? It could be both, or it could be neither. I've seen some people trying to guess. I personally like the one that says, I'm just incredibly attractive and want people to take me seriously. That's my favorite. And if I have to say one is true, I'm going with that one. On a more serious note, and I know from your previous comments that this isn't the case with you, but a lot of times people will try to force a denial out of someone in an attempt to other people. I don't want to push anybody under the bus, so you'll get no denials from me.
There's one thing that bothers me about your show. Why don't you ever say where the researchers are from? I watch a lot of science shows and they'll all tell you the country the scientists are from. You will just say the university they're working at, if anything. But researchers from France might be working through the University of Tennessee. It's so consistent, I feel like it has to be a conscious choice. I'm just wondering why.
You're right, it is a conscious choice. Research teams are often international, and results are almost always shared internationally. Science is a field that, in my opinion, should be untouched by nationalism. If nationalism didn't exist and we could stop viewing humans on the other side of some line on a map as the enemy, we would spend less on defense and could spend more facing the real challenges that face our species.
When is your short story channel coming?
Soon. I already have a few made. I'm just building up some videos so I don't get overworked when we launch the channel. When the idea came up, I didn't have a bunch of short stories just laying around to turn into videos, so I've been putting some together ever since Halloween. Since I'm assuming this will be seen by people who don't watch my show, I'll be launching a science fiction short story channel. And that looks like all I've got. I hope you have a great holiday season.
Hey everybody, it's Dee. Question number 1. So I'm curious, why did you get chosen to be the state-level news person, and why call it the interstate? I mean, besides that, it's clever. So we kicked around the idea of state-level news for the Roads channel, like Bell's Roads Not Taken, and interstate news just made sense. And I like to go on road trips, so that's kind of my thing. Question number 2. What's a little bit of your background? My specialty is emergency medicine and organization. And as Bella said, I've done things. I know stuff. Question number 3. What are you doing for Christmas? Well, I do the traditional Christmas stuff. But as Belle mentioned last week, I like to bake. And I'm kind of a big deal. Question number 4. What do you want for Christmas? I would like a hippopotamus, but I would have to keep it at Bo and Belle's. Bo said yes, but Belle told me no. She said it might frighten the horses or something. Question number 5. If you could go to any state for a week, where would you go and why? Oh, Salem, Massachusetts. And a little fun fact about me is I love the paranormal and the supernatural. That's my jam.
So that looks like it. So there you go, a little more information and a little more context. And having the right information will make all the difference. Y'all have a good day and Merry Christmas.